Hi everybody, this is Boogess Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Page Puncher's Robin figure. So before we take a look at Robin, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the accessories that he comes with. So first up, you get the first issue of the Batman and Robin comic, which is a phenomenal read. I am very happy that McFarlane made this a Page Puncher's figure with this particular comic because it is very awesome. Up next, he comes with your standard DC Multiverse base. Up next, you get his data file. You can see a shot right there from the cover of the comic that I just showed off. And if you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. Up next, he comes with Professor Pig's mask, and it is cracked in two right here. And this looks really awesome. I hope this means that we'll get a Professor Pig figure eventually. That would be very awesome. And finally, he comes with his sword. We've seen this used numerous times with the previous Damian Wayne Robin figures. We got it with the Infinite Frontier Robin, the Unmasked variant, the Platinum, and the DC vs. Vampires. So we've seen this sword used 4 times before. It doesn't bother me that they reused it. He can hold it very well. I just wish he would have came with a gripping hand for the left side. That way he could hold the sword in both hands. So now let's go ahead and take a look at his head sculpt. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I think McFarlane Toys did a phenomenal job at making this look like Frank Whiteley's art. Just like with the Batman figure, I think this is done very well. The mask looks very nice. It's done in light green, and around the eyes and around the edges of the mask you get some green shading. That looks really good. The hair is sculpted very well, and I love the blue shading that's on it. It really looks like the art on the card here. You can see the blue shading that he has there. Man, that looks very awesome. You get a very awesome bendy wire cape, and this actually has a hood that you can pull up over his head that has wire in it, and that looks really good. I do feel like the cape should have been just a little bit longer. It should have came to like right here, but I still think that looks very awesome. You can get it bent up, you can pose it around very nicely. It's wired all the way around and then around the outside of the hood right there. That looks really awesome. Another thing that I love is you can actually get it laying like a real hood would lay because of that wire. It doesn't bulk up. Sometimes figures with cloth hoods, the hood kind of just does this in the back, and that really irritates me. But because of the wire, you can actually get it laying down realistically. This figure does have a new overlay piece right here, and it looks really good. I really like the shading right here, that dark red shading. That looks really good. But the rest of this body, as far as I can tell, is actually a reuse from the Infinite Frontier Robin body mold. So taking a look here, it looks like the legs are exactly the same. They're cast in just all black this time. It does look like it has new lower forearms because you get these new separate pieces for his gloves, these green pieces right here. But the arms are the same, the texturing and everything, that is the same. Yeah, the only thing new that I'm seeing are the lower forearms right here, and then the overlay piece, which the overlay piece does kind of hinder the articulation. It does look good, but it's kind of stiff, so it does hinder that right there. Looking at the boots, they're painted really nicely. You get the green with the black soles and the red laces right there. That looks really good. And they even sculpted the tread on the bottoms. So yeah, that is pretty cool. So now let's go ahead and go over his articulation. So he has a ball-jointed neck that can look up all the way. He can look down just a little bit. He can move his head side to side very nicely. He has shoulders. Now on this shoulder you can see some gappage right here. I think I need to heat it up and get it up in there just a little bit more because it's kind of hindered right there because of, well, you can see how loose it is. This one moves out very nicely, and it moves all the way around, though it's a bit crunchy. He has a swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbows that can bend all the way in, ball jointed wrists that can move up and down and spin all the way around. He has articulation up in here that can move back all the way. It can only really move that far. I think it might actually be a ball joint down here at the waist and diaphragm. But yeah, it's pretty stiff. It's kind of a rubbery material, but it is stiff. So that forward movement is kind of hindered. It does move side to side and all the way around nicely. He has ball jointed hips that can only move out that far. If you try to move them out any farther, you could pop them out. I did pop them out earlier doing that. So I guess you can get him doing a complete split. Kicking forward, you can only get him kicking forward that much. He can kick back all the way. he has a little bit of a thigh swivel. It's kind of hindered. He has double jointed knees that can move back all the way, ball jointed ankles that can move down just a little bit, up, spin all the way around, and toe articulation that can move up all the way. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to the Vampire Robin figure. This reuses parts from the Infinite Frontier body mold, the parts that this also reuses. Here he is next to the first Damian Wayne figure. Here he is next to the Platinum Dick Grayson Batman figure. I feel like he should have been just a little bit shorter, but the size difference doesn't bother me that much. Here he is next to the Black Nightfall Batman figure. And finally, here he is next to the Joker. So overall, I would highly recommend this because McFarlane Toys did a really good job on this. The only real complaint that I have with this is that he didn't come with an accessory holding left hand, and the articulation in the torso is a little bit hindered. I know McFarlane Toys can do overlay pieces like that that are softer that don't limit the articulation, so it would have been nice if they would have used that same material for this Robin, and then the figure would be perfect. But I really think it looks like the artwork. I think McFarlane Toys did a really good job at bringing that to life, just like they did with the Dick Grayson Batman figure. So yeah, if you can find this, definitely pick it up. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.